one of the other headlines was that Cam Akers tore his Achilles. Yikes. And this is a very sad news for him. But how does this affect the LA Rams? And I'll just go first. I think obviously, man, you got to feel for the guy tearing his Achilles. I thought he was going to have a big year this upcoming year. But with all due respect, I think Cam Akers getting injured was a bigger loss for people's fantasy teams than it was for the LA Rams team. The LA Rams have a running back by committee. They can bring anybody, especially in McVay's system, and be fine. With Jared Goff, they were fine. With Matthew Stafford, they'll be fine. They can be more pass-heavy with Matthew Stafford having Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson, Tyler Higbee. They'll be fine. This is not going to hurt the Rams much. And not only that, but last year, Cam Akers rushed for 625 yards, had 123 yards receiving, and 3 total touchdowns. Darrell Henderson, last year, rushed for 624 yards, had 159 yards receiving, and 6 total touchdowns, and had a better yards per carry than Cam Akers. Darrell Henderson's problem has been durability, but when he's on the field, he is a good running back. Sean McVay is the same coach that when Todd Gurley was injured, brought in C.J. Anderson from the street, and C.J. Anderson rushed for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns in a playoff game and won. I mean, Cam Akers being hurt, you feel for him, but this isn't going to affect the Rams at all. They are still going to be a high-potent offense with or without Akers, and not only that, but there are still free agent running backs available. We could see a Todd Gurley reunion. You know, that would be a feel-good story.
So he just got signed.
No, not yet.
Le'Veon Bell could be in play. I don't think he's a fit there, but he could be in play. Running back is the most replaceable position in football. Cam Akers is good. He's not elite. Because of that, this isn't going to hurt the Rams much. They have options, and most importantly, they finally have a great quarterback where they don't have to rely on the run game so much.
To piggyback a lot of what you said, Akers, 625 yards and 4 attempts. He had a great game against New England on Thursday night, but other than that, you saw a lot of consistencies throughout the season. Like you said, Darrell Henderson, he played really well last year, and with Matthew Stafford there, you don't need to be as reliant on the run game as much because of the fact that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's a big-time thrower. With Cooper Kupp there, Robert Woods, Tyler Higbee, you don't really need to rely too much on the running back. And I trust in Sean McVay to make the proper adjustments and to get the guys, the young guys behind Cam Akers going. I feel bad for Cam Akers. This is his second year. Could have been a breakout, coming in last year as a rookie. Year 2, he was expected to make a jump. It's going to suck, missing the year. And this is a big year for the Rams, too. The first time in a while that they've had an elite quarterback at the position. Their defense is stout. This is a big year. They have high expectations for this team to make the NFC Championship. So I know Cam Akers wanted to be a part of that. But like you said, from a football standpoint, they got guys to fill that role. Darrell Henderson Jr., disregarding any injuries, he should be fine. He had better numbers last year anyways, so he should be okay, bearing any injuries. But I think this Ram team is geared up to be okay. Cam Akers' injury, it's a big deal, but it's not something that they should make a big fuss about. You're a fantasy guy, too.
I am a fantasy guy, and that's why you kind of stole my thunder by saying that, because you're 100% right, man. Fantasy owners are hurt by this. I know my boy Joel, shout out to you, man. He has him in every single league that we're in. He was crushed when he heard that news. I agree with what you're saying, but I kind of disagree just a little bit, because you're 100% right. They have been a running back by committee, and they've had success in that aspect. You can hit it right on the nose by saying C.J. Anderson came up off the street and had an unbelievable game. This guy's a little bit different. I saw some flashes in him that playoff run. He looked damn good. His explosiveness through the tackles, his ability to be a catch pass, a receiving back, He just has so much elusiveness that we haven't seen from a Rams running back, obviously, since Todd Gurley. Not Todd Gurley when he was on the Rams. Don't get it twisted. That's a different breed of running back. but you're 100% right in this in saying this. Matthew Stafford has become accustomed to playing with running back by committee. Matthew Stafford has never had a true number one running back since Javid Best. I think that was the last time.
Reggie Bush.
I still even think that he had some time that he wasn't the 100% guy. Was Matthew Stafford in when Reggie was back there? But the fact that these last few years, Matthew Stafford has been able to be successful without a true number one running back, it should not be cause for concern for Rams fans, especially when you have weapons like Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Those guys alone are going to have huge, huge seasons just with Matthew Stafford taking over the helm. It sucks for sure. 100%, like Joel said, you feel for him. And I do believe he is a super talented guy, and I hope we see him come back to the field next season because I do believe he is the best running back on this team for sure. And Darrell Henderson did a good job last season, but he did not do what Cam Akers did when Cam Akers was actually given the opportunity to be the guy. And in that short sample size that we saw of Cam Akers being the guy, he was excellent. So you're right. They will have success, but it hurts to lose this guy specifically.
Reggie Bush had 1,000 yards with the Lions.
Nice. How many games? 16?
Yeah.
Nice.
Stafford played 16 too. They went 7-9. So yeah.
So Reggie had that amazing season on the Dolphins, and then he went to the Lions after.
He went to the Lions and then had around 900 yards. Then the very next year he had 1,000.
Okay. Sweet. No, cool. Yeah. So Javid Best, what year was he playing?
Javid Best, he was okay. I don't think he ever averaged for 1,000 yards though.
But that was the last, off the top of my head, that was the last running back that I remembered being with
that was
Matthew Stafford.
2010. He only had 555 yards rushing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My point being,
Bush
exactly.
was their best running back. Yeah,
for sure. No, thanks for reminding me.
So, I mean, not only that, but their offense was never oriented around a run. In this type of scheme that McVay runs, it's going to be much more oriented around a run. And I think any running back can kind of slot in and not maybe do what Cam Akers did, but they're still going to have an 1,000-yard rusher if somebody
really
if somebody's healthy the entire year. I think they could.
Okay.
But if we got three guys getting the ball, I think each one to get like maybe 600 or 500 yards rushing around there. I just think every single game the Rams will have over 100 yards rushing as a team. That's what I think. So between all running backs
as a team, definitely.
I think they'll have that.
Very accurate.
So I don't think this is that huge of a loss. I think the Rams are still a dangerous team.
Agreed.
With or without Cam Akers. I don't think this hurts them much personally.
I think if Goff was there, it kind of would hurt because I feel like the run game kind of helped Goff. Yeah. But I think with Stafford being there and him having that arm and being that good, I don't think this would defeat him.
Good point.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very smart.